This channel is now affiliated with Wampler Guitar Pedals, run by Brian Wampler. It's an online course that will teach you the do's and don'ts about creating great guitar tone. In this course you'll find out how pedals affect amps differently, and how different guitars and pickups can also affect your guitar tone, while also learning how to use all of these great pedals into your digital modeler and DAW. You can click the affiliate link below and you can get yourselves 25% discount using the code Johnny25. Hey, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Hope you're well. My name's Johnny Lee. A little bit of a disclaimer before we get going. This is the Quilter Tone Block 202. Quilter reached out to me just after NAMM and said, we think that you would like one of these because of what you do in the modeling world. To which I said, okay, then send me one. And they did. So what I should say is this is not a paid promotion in any way. I'm not affiliated with Quilter. They just said, look, we think that you would like this because of what you do. So, you know, give us a truthful kind of feedback on it, which tends to happen on this channel quite a lot. Anyway, people do offer me stuff to kind of, you know, say nice things about. And 9 times out of 10, I usually turn them down. However, being at NAMM and hearing this thing in action, I wanted to get my hands on one properly. And I can tell you now, categorically, this thing does not suck. So what I should say as well before we get going is there is a lot of different options with this tone block. It's 200 watts of pure power amp power, and there is so many different ways of using it. The whole video would take well over an hour for me to go into it, but we're not going to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I am going to use it in the real world, because I am going to use it. I'm going to gig it to pieces now because it is literally that good. So let's start at the beginning. So obviously I'm going to go into the Helix, and what is going to happen then is I've got two ways of doing it. I can either run my Helix with full amp models and use the FR voicing, which is on the tone block, or I could use the Helix as a bit of a pedal board and use this either just straight into the front of it, or I could 4-cable it and do that and just use that as my actual amp. And I've got two different options on there as well. I've got the full Q and the vintage, which is two slightly different voicings. But for what I'm going to be doing today, we're just going to go straight into the front of it, and then I'm going to show you what it's like with the vintage, and I'm going to show you what it's like with FR. All right, so here is very, very simple. I've got a dual pitch, a chorus, calligraphic, tube screamer, a comp, and a phase, and a little bit of delay. And this is just going straight into the front of this. And then obviously if I wanted to put a bit of a tube screamer on, I could do that as well. So what I think is lately there's a little bit of a comeback with people taking cabs to gigs. It seems to be like a reoccurring thing. A lot of people, when they got the Helix and the FM9s and the Kempers, were just like, I'm going direct, I'm using in-ear monitors, everything's going to be tickety-boo and the sound man's going to love me. I think people miss that feel of having a speaker behind you, or like a real amp behind you. So if I wanted to turn up to a gig with a 4x12 cab, I could do that if I wanted to be an absolute lunatic. But for the most part, the Blackstar cabs are really good because I can split them. So if I wanted one next to me tilted back and one behind me tilted back, I could do that. If I wanted one either side of me tilted back, I could do that. And the Quilter is that small, it's kind of tabletop, which is how I'm going to be using it in the studio as well. just want to quickly show you the kind of front panel. So there's the full Q, the vintage, and the FR switch. Obviously, if I'm using the Helix, I'm going to be using FR. The vintage one on that is kind of my favourite. The limiter that is on there, it's kind of a compressor, but not so much really compressor-ish, if you like. The reverb that's on it is amazing. The gain is pretty snarly as well. And the master is, nice and smooth. Also, these switches are notched, so they kind of click as you're turning them around, which is a really nice touch, apart from the gain and the master, which are both smooth operation. I guess the question should be, do you need a Quilter 202 200 watt behemoth power amp? Yes, you do. Like I said at the beginning, I ain't being paid to say nothing. This is no, say good things about this and we'll give you it for free. That's not what it's about. That, the initial conversation was, we'll send you this because we think that you'll like it. Tell us what you think. That's a big green flag for me. That's really, really good, because they're confident in the product that it's actually as good as what people say it is. Whereas some other manufacturers have kind of reached out to me and gone, oh, we'll give you this if you say that it's dead good. And I'm not really interested in that. This now is going to be my kind of number one gigging power amp. I'm very tempted now to kind of dig out my old Line 6 Celestion loaded 4x12 and use that, because I'm a bit of a dickhead, so why not? But for now, the flexibility of this being so small, having so many different options, because you can go direct, you can alter as well, that I should say, where the pre and the post master is, so you can have control over it whilst the sound guy's got control over his side of it, so you can turn your monitor up if you like, and it won't affect what's going to the front of the house. You just flick that switch and it's just tremendous. There's no kind of rewiring or rerouting to do. It can go FR. You've got a couple of different voicing options if you want to create your own amp, and it takes pedals just like a dirty oiled up prostitute. All right, thanks for watching. I appreciate you being here. Big shout out to Quilter as well for sending this out to me. Send me more stuff, because I love it. Just send me more stuff.